Hello, everyone. My name is Mason Forsyth, and my presentation is on John Marston, the playwright, not the cowboy from Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. Introduction. John's birth date is not known, however, the earliest date we are given for him is his baptism date. He was baptized on October 7th, 1576, in Oxfordshire, England. He died in June 25th, 1634, in London, England. He was a dramatist during the Shakespearean era, known for his satires. Arguably, his most known work is called The Malcontent, which was published in 1604. He wrote this as well as other major works for different children's companies. Children's companies were organized group of boy actors that were popularized during the Elizabethan and Jacobean eras. Life of John Marston. John Marston began his education at the University of Oxford and then resided from 1595 at the Middle Temple in London. Although he attended such a prestigious university, he was not considered a university wit. Now, he would have been one, but he said that this title did not define his life as much as the work that he did, like his plays and his catalog. In 1598, his literary career began. He wrote The Metamorphosis of Pygmalion's Image and certain Satires. This was an erotic poem in the Ovidian style. Ovidian style was characterized by its elegance, its wit, and technical skill. It would often use humor with a playful tone to be different from more traditional tones and themes. It was also specialized for fluidity of meter. This meter is known as dactylic hexameter. This type of style would also be categorized with vivid descriptions, frequent use of wordplay, puns, and allusions. That same year, Marston wrote The Scourge of Villainy. Marston referred to himself as a barking satirist in this play. He would be widely acclaimed for this comment. Life of John Marston continued. In the year 1599, he began to write for the theater. He produced Histrio Mastix, which was published in 1610. This would most likely be for performance at the Middle Temple in London. This show would have a character that resembled Ben Jonson, another fellow playwright. This character was described as a master pedant as well as a translating scholar. A brief feud had developed between Marston and Jonson. This feud would be a part of an event in the literary world known as the War of Theaters. In a play called Poetaster, written by Ben Jonson, Marston was depicted as a character called Crispinus. Crispinus was a character with red hair and small legs who was, quote, given a pill that forced him to disgorge a pretentious vocabulary. One of the children's theaters that John Marston worked for after this was called Children of Paul's. For them, he wrote 3 plays. The Antonio and Melita, produced in 1600, as well as its sequel, Antonio's Revenge, in 1601, and then he also wrote What You Will in 1601. Antonio's Revenge would prove to be his most memorable while working at the Children of Paul's. Antonio's Revenge is a melodrama about a political power struggle with elements of parody and fantasy intertwined throughout. Marston would then transfer over to the Blackfriars Theatre Boy Company in 1604. This Blackfriars Theatre Boy Company would also be known as the Children of the Queen's Rebels, and then later called Children of the Blackfriars. This is where John Marston would write the remaining of his plays. His next play, The Dutch Courtesan, produced in 1603 to 1604, and The Malcontent would earn him status as the dramatist that he is known for today. The Dutch Courtesan was thought to be one of the cleverest comedies of Marston's time. Marston would eventually then work with Ben Jonson, the man he had a feud with years before, and George Chapman on a play called Eastward Ho in 1605. Eastward Ho was a comedy/satire contrasting how things were in Scotland at the time. King James I did not take kindly to this take and imprisoned the 3 men. Marston was later imprisoned again in 1608, possibly for offending royalty again. He would then leave his play, The Insatiate Countess, unfinished to join the Church of England. Now, this play, The Insatiate Countess, was thought to be his most erotic play of his entire catalog. He was then ordered to marry the daughter of King James I chaplain in 1609, and in 1616 he took an ecclesiastical position in the Christchurch, Hampshire. 1 year before his death, he supposedly insisted upon the removal of his name from 6 of his plays. This would be titled The Works of John Marston. It would be reissued the same year anonymously along with Tragedies and Comedies. That is the end, And that is my singular source that I used to find the background of John Marston. Thank you very much.